Yo, how's it going, Apple Army? Welcome back to the Game and Apple. So today I'm going to be doing my final build video for this patch. I wasn't even going to do this build, but you guys requested it in the Discord, so I thought, hey, let's give it a go. Basically, it is my STAMPLAR, Battlegrounds, Dueling, and IC build. Mainly Battlegrounds, IC. There is a few things I would change for Dueling, but I'll get into that more in the build video. But yeah, let's get right into it, guys. So, straight away, we'll just go over our character sheet, right? We are running our Tame Takeaway Morph and the Lady Mundus as a Khajiit. 64 points into stamina, then if I buff up, I'll show you my stats. I will get off the rune as well. I'll just buff up here, and I'll jump off the rune. So, on the back bar, we have 2.5k stamina recovery, 1.2k health, 2k bloody magic, 1.1k health, 27.5k health, nearly 28k stamina, 15k magic, 5.2k weapon damage, 33% crit there. I'll just buff up again. What is that? 33% crit, 8k physical penetration. Then we're looking at 27k physical, 24.3k physical. That's like 27k spell? Yeah. 27k spell, 24.3k physical, and then 2.4k crit resistance. Crit resistance a bit on the low side, but I can get into how you can change that if you want to. Right, and then on the front bar, or the back bar. Alright. So we're going up to 30k spell, 27.7k physical, and 2.9k crit resistance. And if I just pop potion again, you are still at the same recoveries and just a bit more health. Alright, I didn't miss anything there, I don't think. Okay, let's go over into our potions first of all then. So the potions that I want to run with this build are the speed and mobility and like knockback mobility and stamina pots. Works really well because I like this skill. I'll just quickly go over this. So basically, I'm liking the skill for Battlegrounds. It gives us our major evasion and our major expedition in one skill, but you don't get the guaranteed proc of the major evasion. So having speed pots worked into the build as well really increases your uptime of having major expedition. So yeah, that's why I've gone for those parts, and I don't feel like I need the resistance potions because we have major evasion. If I need to tank up, I can stand in my ruin. I got the cleanse, but yeah, so that's why I've gone for those potions. Gear then, right? Critical post back bar. Now, you can go Master Sword and Board. I don't like Master Sword and Board. But I think for dueling, Master Sword and Board is best in slot. And I'll just quickly show you what Master Sword and Board... I don't even have it on this character. I believe I have it in the bank. Let me just go check my bank, guys. I'll quickly show you what Master Sword and Board does. There we go. So I think this is best in slot for dueling. And some people like this for Battlegrounds and Imperial City. I personally prefer the Critical Riposte because it gives me nice crit resistance. And then it allows me to use this skill here, so I'm not forced to using the puncture. And I like this because it gives me my AoE. Major fracture, right? Or major breach, reducing their physical and spell resistances rather than single target. But for dueling situations, I definitely feel like this is better because you get extra healing received, and then your resistances go through the roof. That would allow you then to switch out the Lady Mundustone for the crit damage Mundustone. So for dual specs, right? For dual specs, what you could do then is switch out for the Shadow, increasing your critical damage and critical healing by 11%, I believe it is. And so that's what I would switch out if you want to go more dueling spec. But as this is more BGIC focused. Alright. Let's get more into the gear then. So front bar, we have Deadly. Deadly Sharpened Maul. You get the penetration for having the maul, and I'll just quickly show you now. So the reason why we are a maul, right, where are you? So we get 3,300 penetration, so we ignore 3,000, is it just increase? Okay, you still ignore. Yeah, increases your penetration by 3,300. Which with our jabs is really, really nice. You pair that with sharpened, penetration's really nice. Weapon damage, enchant with the poisons on the back bar just for the light attacks, and yeah, that's about it. Getting onto the sets then, so we didn't even talk about this. So this gives you weapon damage, weapon crit, weapon damage. On a STAMPLAR, weapon damage and weapon crit is so nice, especially on our Khajiit setup where we're really speccing into crit damage. This is honestly really nice to have. Then you get your increased damage for physical, bleed, poison, and disease damage over time effects, and channeled abilities do 20% more damage. And if you did not know, jabs count as a channeled ability because it has a channel time of 1 second. So that just basically increases your jab damage by 20%, which, can I just say, that set, anybody running major evasion no longer gets that 20% reduction because the deadly set is just going straight against that 20%, which is really nice. And then for people who don't run major evasion, it hits them even harder. Alright. Deadly, like bread and butter on a sample at the moment. Maybe not next set patch, maybe still next patch, I don't know, haven't tested. But Deadly has always been a really strong set for Stamplar. Then I got Balorgs. I have missed Balorgs in Cyrodiil this patch. So when I was making a BG setup, I really wanted to implement Balorgs into my build because it's one of my favourite sets. It gives you weapon damage and then insane amounts of weapon and spell damage. And with the jabs, you can just keep proccing it with this skill, right? You don't even need to stack it up really high. You could stack it to say 70, right? So you get 7 times. But it just increases every 10 seconds. Like you could literally hit this button every 10 seconds if you kill somebody. So you could keep your jabs at a higher pressure, and then if you wanted to save up, you could save up to 200 ulti and then use Crescent Sweep, or you could switch out to Dawnbreaker if you wanted to. That's your choice. I prefer Crescent because you can hit some mad Crescent Sweeps this patch, and then go into a toppling charge to stun them after. So instead of stunning them with the Dawnbreaker and then jabbing, you Crescent Sweep, so your ultimate big burst is gone, then you stun them, so you're increasing the period that you give yourself to do your burst. Whilst a Dawnbreaker, they're going to break free, go straight into heal. With Crescent, they might not go straight into a heal because they haven't been stunned. After the stun is when people usually go defensive, because it's like that trigger in the head, thinking, oh shit, I've been stunned, burst combo, need to really go defensive. Just giving yourself more chance, or more duration to get your full damage in and to kill people. Bit more in depth there, but I think you need to understand why this combo works really well. And obviously you can switch out toppling for the spear, but I like toppling. Anyway, back to the sets. Right, so Eternal Vigor. We have Eternal Vigor, chest and legs reinforced because the heavy pieces, and heavy pieces reinforced, chest and legs is the strongest. On the big pieces, I am running Tri-Stat enchants. You can run Tri-Stat enchants on everything, but I'm just running it on the 3 big pieces, and then stamina enchants for the rest. 2 well fitted, 3 impen, and then probably 2 reinforced. But you can increase. I didn't have any transmute crystals that I wanted to put into this build because so late in the patch, but you could make this all impen and 2 well fitted. So 5 impen, 2 reinforced. Sorry, but I just had well fitted, so I went with that. And yeah. If you don't know what Eternal Vigor does, it gives you magic recovery, stamina recovery, health recovery, max health, max stamina recovery, max health recovery, and magic recovery again, and then an insane amount of health recovery while below 50% health. And all that recovery pairs really nice into our Khajiit lineup. So I haven't seen it showing this, but you get 100 health recovery and 85 stamina and magic recovery for being a Khajiit. Then you get 915 of all max stats with your critical damage and critical healing. So yeah, this does really fit in quite nicely. Yeah, I even tried to run this food up here, if I still got it. I tried to run this food, but I couldn't get the amount of stamina that I needed. My stamina was just too short, so I had to go for Artaeum. That is the reasoning I didn't go for this food, but that is a really strong food, especially for Ciro, not so much BG. I think Artaeum is still best in slot, especially for my build. And then for the jewelry, all weapon damage infused. Yeah, Eternal Vigor, so we keep the 5-piece medium. I did try 4-piece medium, but I wanted to run a Lude, so I needed the 5-piece medium, and with Eternal Vigor, you can't get 6-piece medium because, you know, you still need to have 2 pieces on the body. Yeah, so that's what I went for. Alright, into the skills, and I've already gone a bit over skills, but we'll get into it more now. So, Elude, like I said, major evasion, major expedition, really nice. Moving on. Extended Ritual. This is our massive heal. Like, this gives us a really nice heal over time. Put this on, right? This gives us a heal, right? Pair that with Vigor. Then it also cleanses our negative effects. It's our snare removal. And you think, you know, having 2 magic skills, you know, and relying on this as snare removal, well, we have 15k max magic with 1.2k magic recovery. So we have plenty of magic. Obviously, it's a bit different inside of BGs. It goes down a bit. But still, I found my magic recovery to be absolutely fine, so don't worry about this being a snare removal at all, because most of the time when you need a snare removal, you've got dots on you and stuff anyway, so it's fine. honestly. And when you're being snared, it's usually by an AoE or something, so you can also have a Lude kicking in, giving you major expedition to counteract that, so it isn't as bad as it seems. I actually really like this combo for BGs. Right, restoring focus gives you stamina back, and it gives us our major resolve, so it increases our physical and spell resistances by nearly 6k. This I love, because when you're outside the ruin, you still get a shit ton of like resistances, and then when I really need to tank up, I put a ruin down, put a cleanse, and you can hold block and stuff and vigor just to really tank yourself up, and you just see our resistances shoot through the roof there. And in this sort of situation, I would be usually on the back bar looking to pop a shield wall and then flip to the offensive, but you can also do this and do Crescent Sweep into jabs, because that also works well, because you're just giving yourself that tanking, that tank opportunity just by putting that ruin down. Not enough samplers do this, but I mean, you're always moving about, but it's so cheap. Just place another ruin. It's literally costs nothing. What's the cost in it? 791, and it restores your stam. Let's be real. You can put that wherever you want to put it, right? Okay. Then caltrops. So I really like caltrops. The movement speed is nice. So 50% reduction movement speed. Like I say with this, if you catch them like in a little gap like this, so you chuck caltrops down, right? If it actually lets me chuck it, it's not gonna let me chuck it, is it? No. Okay. Right, so you can chuck caltrops down a little gap, right? Come around the corner, place down a ruin, straight into some jabs. So they're coming into the caltrops, jabbing, Crescent Sweep, then maybe topple and charge player, and you're looking to burst someone down because you do some incredible damage with jabs and toppling charge and Crescent Sweep. Really, the burst combo on that is really nice. Sometimes you just don't even need Power of the Light. We'll get into Power of the Light now. Vigor, obviously, Vigor's a staple. Spell Wall, you get Reflex for 7 seconds. You get the minor protection from biting jabs. I don't know where that comes from. Is it in... I think it's in here. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. Minor protection for 5 seconds through biting jabs. So you activate this, and then you get your minor protection on both bars. In BGs, where you're attacking a lot more, I find that I don't need to run undo on the back bar, the temporal guard. So I don't feel like I need to run this back bar. So Spell Wall definitely best in slot, in my opinion, for this setup. Right, Camo Hunter, I mean, it's a no-brainer for this build. It gives us our crit chance and extra damage. I mean, you can actually switch this out because you get crit damage from the jabs, so that always increases your crit damage. But, sorry, not crit damage, crit chance. But I do like having it up like 100% of the time anyway, and it gives us our 5% extra increased damage, and on top of that it can pull Nightblades out of stealth, which isn't as needed on a STAMPLAR because we have jabs to pull them out of stealth, and we have this, so our ability to pull players out of stealth is quite nice. Yeah, those Nightblades really do struggle getting in and out of combat against us. But yeah, if you wanted to swap this out, you could definitely swap this out, but I wouldn't do it on this kind of spec. Most people would swap it out for an execute. So I've seen some samplers run reverse slice and stuff as an execute. You can do that. I don't like this. I don't feel like you need an execute on a STAMPLAR. If you need an execute on a STAMPLAR, then you probably just don't have enough damage, in all honesty. And I like to play more glass cannon-y style on my STAMPLAR. But this isn't a glass cannon. This is actually feeling really nice damage with really nice resistances. So I had to do a bit of testing, but yeah, it's feeling really nice. Power of the Light, so you get the Minor Fracture. Minor Fracture, awesome, 3k reduction spell resistance. So not only do we apply Major Fracture, 6k, we have Minor Fracture for 3k, then we have the, what is it, with Sharpened as a Maul for an extra nearly, or 6.5, like 6.6k, 6.5k, extra physical resistance, physical penetration and spell penetration. So we're not even looking at CP like on a battleground perspective here. This is looking really, really strong penetration. And then it also goes nicely to burst combo. And I'll quickly show you what the burst combo looks like. And so we'll buff up, right? So we'll do that into maybe a light attack, into power light attack, into jabs, another jabs, then toppling charge, and then it'll blow up into a jab, something like that. Or if I get them again, if I just get my ulti up. So what we'll do is we'll do that, then we'll do one set of jab into a sweep, and then into a toppling charge, and then into jabs, and then they'll blow up after. Alternatively, you can always do 2 sets of jabs. You can do 2 sets of jabs before the sweep after placing Power of the Light, or you can do 1 set of jabs, sweep, toppling charge. 1 set of jabs usually works better against the better players because after they don't really let you get 2 full sets of jabs in. So you do 1 full set of jab, quick sweep into a toppling charge, then jab again, and you're looking for the Power of the Light then to explode. And yeah. But against the worst players, you can just do you can just do a few sets, and that's you over there, the house owner, guild house. This absolutely amazing house. I love the dude for doing this for us. All right, and all of his other guilds, obviously. All right, let's carry on with this. So yeah, biting jabs awesome. We didn't talk about rally, so it gives our recoveries increased stamina recovery by 15%. Really nice. I'll just show you again. So it jumps us from 1.8k all the way up to nearly 2.1k, right? And then you take a potion on top, you just see our recovery stack up quite nicely there. Then it gives us our minor brutality and an amazing burst heal. Can't forget about that burst heal. Really nice. Toppling charge, talked about this a lot, but this also sets them off balance. So if you don't actually stun them with this, right? I'm just going to do a toppling charge. So if you fail to stun them, and I actually try fail sometimes, because this can work in some combos. So not always stunning them with toppling charge is actually a good thing for some players, because you're allowed to jab. So say right, I jab them, right? I'm jabbing them. They're buffed up, they're debuffed, right? And I'm jabbing them, right? I do a toppling charge, but they don't get stunned, so they get off balance instead. And I keep jabbing them. I can then do a medium weave into more jabs. So, and then blow it up exactly on the Power of the Light. So you can just medium weave to stun them after that. So just because it didn't stun them first time, you don't need to keep spamming it for the stun. Make sure you use the medium weave to get the stun in. That is really, really nice on this build, and I do it a lot sometimes against mag DKs and stuff that perma block to catch them out, and some STAMPLARs who block a lot and roller dodge. The better STAMPLARs. The medium weaves really catch people off, and with burst combos, really effective. So don't forget about that. Don't think about this as just a stun or a gap close. Actually, I don't want you to think about it as a gap close. I want you to think about this stun as a stun, right? If you spam this right as gap close to gap close to gap close, you'll see your magic just really drain, and then you've got all of a sudden you've got barely any magic left for cleanse. That's no good. We need the cleanse, right? We need the cleanse. So you want to be using it sometimes as a gap close, but not spamming it as a gap close. I mean, we do have Major Expedition, we have good movement on this build, so just move yourself to them. And then use it as stun combos, burst combos, and then moving from enemy to enemy, switching positions, not as a lazy gap close. That's what I want to say about that, because you will drain for your magic, especially in non-stamina in non-magic pots. Right. Crescent Sweep. Now, I love this because it does some insane damage. I never used this morph before, and on my other build video, I actually used the physical damage morph, but I was wrong. I corrected that in the comment section as well. This is the better morph, because this skill now scales off your max offensive stat, right? So it isn't going off magic damage or physical damage for, like, it's not going off magic damage for a magic damage ability. My physical damage also procs it. So watch me press rally, right? That was 10.6k, and now it's gone up to 11.8. So it goes off max offensive stat, which is really nice. And so having then enemies in front of your path will be hit for an extra 60% damage. I've hit 18k sweeps on light armor builds, like, because obviously light armor passives now, like light armor builds, for their penalties, they increases their damage taken from martial attacks by 1% per light armor piece. So with that stacked as well, you can hit some crazy crit numbers, especially when we are running. Let me show you this. So we get 10% extra crit damage from here, and then we get 12% extra crit damage from being a Khajiit. Yeah, and I was thinking about running race against time here, but for BGs it really isn't needed. You don't need that extra damage. I did spec into it, I did test it. The burst is bloody crazy, but we don't need it. Our damage is really, really strong as is, so I went for a more defensive option instead for survivability, so I wasn't draining all my stats trying to stay alive. That was the balance I put into effect there. Now, I saved the CP for last, guys, because basically this is more spec towards BG, so I wanted to make sure I went over everything properly for a BG setup. But this also works in IC and Duel Link, so we'll get into looking at the CP for that now. Quickly over then the green CP. I use this for the extra duration on Artaeum, because Artaeum is expensive. And then the potion, so you have a chance not to use the potion, extra speed outside of combat, which is nice, and then mount movement speed. But you can do what you want, guys. That's completely up to you. For my main 4 then, I do increases damage done with area affected attacks, so that counts for jabs, crescent sweeps, pardon me, and caltrops, but mainly the jabs and the crescent sweeps. Crit damage, obviously I'm speccing more into crit damage here, so that is really nice. That puts us up to 32% crit damage with that. Then we go down to here, 10% reduction damage taken to single target attacks. I think this is a must on nearly every single build. That goes for spectral bows, incaps, crystal frags, you name it. All those really high damage single target attacks get nerfed by 10% against us. Then we have increased crit resistance as well, because this is so nice, especially the crit resistance nerf in the patches. And then the ones I want you to focus after that, guys, is I want you to focus on this. So I want you to put this up to, if you don't have the max CP, probably put these all to 3, like to 30%. So that's not 30%, 3%. So put in 30 points in all these first. Then I'd go over here. I'd put your max into there, 20 points in here, and then put a max in here, right? And then after that, we want to be looking 10 points here, 10 points here. Then you know, another literally just 10 points here, 10 points here. Make sure you get everything stacked out, and then after you've got 10 points all these stacked up, then look at maximizing your stamina, maximizing these all the way. Then after you've maximized that, maximize your healing done, and after you've maximized your healing done, maximize your crit chance. I know we're doing a lot of crit damage on this build, but this crit chance is really low, so it's not worth having that 40 points before the healing received 40 points. And then finally, what I'm speccing to is actual magic, and I had some points that I haven't been using. Yeah. Then we'll go over to here. So the 3 that I want you to put in are max health, max armor, then recoveries, and also the one down here. So when you break free, you get 10% reduction damage taken to all attacks, whilst you have the crowd control immunity. The ones I want you to stack into here, then, guys, is I want you to max up your max health. You don't need to put anything in here. Just put, like, say 10 points in here just to go up 1 stage. Then yeah, you do that as you see fit. But I want you to get over to here to up this as max as you can, because you're breaking free a lot. Then this is a flex one for you, how much you roll dodge. Then also, I want you to put this one to max. I want you to put this one to max. Increases the amount of damage you can block. Increases your movement speed. Then you can put stuff in here if you want to. But that's just what I've been doing, guys. So, but yeah, do that as you see fit. But definitely get the 4 main ones, right? I actually put some points in here, so I'll just spam some points in there. Alright. Guys, I think I've pretty much gone over everything. I feel like I'm in pretty in depth about this, as I always do. I try to make this for you more than just a build video that most people do. Most people just skim through stuff, say this is like they just run this. I want you to understand why I run this build, so when you run this build, you can get the most out of it, because there's a lot of stuff going on through my mind whilst running this build, and I want you guys to understand it. At least it stands more than you would if I didn't explain it, so that you can use this build to more of its potential like I do. But if you have any questions, guys, please let me know down in the comment section down below. Without any further ado, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash that like button, because it really does help share my content and help me grow as a creator, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, drop a comment in the comment section down below, because I always love to hear from you guys. Positive, negative, anything. Obviously negative, at least give me a reason why it's negative, because I love constructive criticism. It helps me grow and improve. So yeah, please go ahead with all that, and then subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Stay up to date with all my latest content here at the Gaming Apple, and to become part of the Apple Army. God, I love the Apple Army. I love you guys. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, the link for the Discord is down in the description below. So you want to see more of me, you want to come talk to me more, PM me, all that kind of stuff, come join the Discord, add me. I'll link all my future content in there. I talk to you guys, polls, when I'm going live, all that good stuff. Got all that in the Discord. We're at 125 plus members now in the Discord, which is awesome. Thank you guys for all your support. And without any further ado, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.